Hi guys, my name is Sonali and welcome to our channel, The Happiness Company. In the previous episode we discussed about, how habits are formed, the process of how the habits are formed, and we learned that a cue or a trigger is important for us to sort of start forming a habit, which is actually an extension of having a craving. Say for example, when you wake up in the morning, you want to have a coffee because you want to stay alert. And that is the craving that I was talking about. And then you plan an action, so which is when you make a cup of coffee for yourself. And the reward is that you end up staying alert. So cues, craving, action and reward. That is the process of how the habits are formed. And so the step one of cultivating good habits is that control your cues. When you control your cues, you not only strengthen your ability to form good habits, but you also avoid the bad habits. So the second step towards cultivating a good habit is to strengthen your implementation intentions. I know it sounds like a jargon, but all it means is that any plan without an action is actually waste, isn't it? So we sit around the home and we say that we are going to be healthy, we are going to start eating healthy, but we don't have a plan of action. When are you going to start? Where are you going to start? What are the food items that you're going to eat, isn't it? So any plan without having the right intention, implementation intention, which is a plan of action, is a total waste. And if you want to cultivate good habits, you have to make sure that your intentions are not vague. You have a clear plan of action. So don't just say that I'll run more often. Instead, decide that on Monday, Wednesday or Friday, when the alarm goes off, the first thing I'm going to do is don my running gears and clock 2 miles. And also leave your running shoes outside. This will give you a clear plan of action and also give you an obvious cue that you have to go for running. And this way, this cue will enable you to cultivate a good habit. It will surprise you how this habit will this whole process will enable you to develop or cultivate a good running habit. Interestingly, humans are motivated by the anticipation of reward. When you do something and if you get a reward for it, like when you come first in the class and your parents give you a gift, or when you do something good at work and your boss gives you a treat or gives you a voucher, you feel more motivated to work extra, isn't it? And it's scientifically proven that there is a hormone dopamine which is released by our brain when we are happy, which motivates us to cultivate a good habit or sort of continue with that habit, right? So use this knowledge to sort of benefit or cultivate good habits. When you know that you will be rewarded for something, for forming a habit, you will actually be able to do it and follow through it. And another great way of forming and cultivating good habits is temptation bundling. Sounds interesting, right? Temptations are things, are desires that instigate or that promote us to do something in order to achieve it, right? Say for example, if you want to read a gossip magazine but you have truckloads of work to do, or if you want to play PS3 but you have a lot of work to do, promise yourself that you will read that magazine only while you are at a gym, or you will play PS3 when you come back once you're done with your exercising sessions. A lot of ways can be included in your day-to-day life which can help you improve your habits. It's up to you if you pick up the right one. If you reward yourself for every habit that you've developed, say you want to, Shilpa Shetty is the best example. She does cheat days on Sundays and she binge eats her favorite desserts. That's, I think, an interesting way of keeping yourself motivated. So make sure that you're able to cultivate good habits by using these techniques. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. This is The Happiness Company.